In the natural world, organisms, like our human, also can have many types of relationships with each other. But different from the human, once two organisms form a certain relationship, at least one of them will be benefited, while the other could be affected either positively, negatively, or neutrally. This is what we call symbiosis. So, what kind of relationships do they have? What results and influence could be happen in organisms then? This video tries to help you explore these questions by showing you the secret stories of symbiotic relationships.
Dr. Wang, could you briefly explain what the mutualism is?
Sure, let me give you an example. You know, like the bees get the nectar from a flower. This is one of the most common mutualistic relationships in the natural. There are only two kinds of foods that bees will eat: pollen in an anther and the honey they made from the nectar. So, they get benefits from the flowers. Meanwhile, when bees collect their foods, they also promote the reproduction of flowers.
Yeah, how can bees promote the produce of flowers?
Well, when bees land on a flower, some saddlebags like sac, which contain pollen, will stuck on their feet. When bees fly to another flower, the pollen will fall out from the bags. As pollen fall to the female reproductive organs of flowers, it will fertilize the flower and make it grow seed for their generation. As a result, flowers could also get benefits from the bees. So when different species gain benefits from each other, certain mutualistic beneficial relationship will form with them. And we could conclude such phenomenon that happens in the natural.
Next, commensalism is another common symbiotic relationship in nature, but different from mutualism. Commensalism only benefits one organism of the two. The commensal who get benefits from the commensalism may obtain nutrients, shelters, support, or locomotion from the host space, which is substantially unaffected. The commensal who get benefits from the commensalism may make huge structural adjustments to itself to adapt the other one in commensalism. Remora is one of the most common examples in nature. Remora, sometimes called suckerfish, are a family of refined fish in the order Perciformes. Their distinctive first dorsal fins take the form of a modified oval, shark-like organ with slat-like structures that open and close to create suction and take a firm hold against the skin of larger marine animals. The disc is made up of stored flexible membranes that can be raised and lowered to generatic suction. Although in the past it was believed that it eats the Platypus residue, the facts prove that it is a mistake. Remora is ingesting scraps of food, feces, and small nectarines, and it stays with its host to keep itself safe. So through commensalism, we can find that Remora gets food and is being protected by the host, but the host doesn't get any benefits from.
The final relationship is parasitism. Briefly, parasitism is a symbiosis between two creatures. One is called parasite. Parasites get benefits such as nutrients or foods from the other organism, the host. The parasites that live in the outside of the host, called ectoparasites, the one that lives inside of the host, called endoparasites. One of the examples of parasites is Ophicodicip's unilateralis. It is a fungus called zombie. This fungus could invade insects, and the most common host of it is ants. The zombie fungus spreads its spore by wind. When the spore falls on ants, these ants will form some small hairs on the body. This hair will shoot any ants near the hosts and infect them immediately. After the fungus invades the ants successfully, they will start to explore and invade any space of the ants with thousands of branches. They will invade the neuron and the tissue of the insects as well. In addition, fungus are very clever. They will only leave the motor nerve for the hosts to survive few hours to find an area which has suitable condition and temperature to grow. When the fungus find a suitable area to grow, they will invade all the neurons of the host. Then the host will try to grab something to hold the weight of its body, which is called death grab. When the host dead, the fungus start to grow by using the nutrients of the host and grow up at the end of the host's head. In the end, the fungus will spread the spore to the other ants again. That is the parasitism.
To conclude the three kinds of symbiotic relationships, mutualism is a symbiotic relationship between two species, which each individual benefits from the activity of the other. Commensalism is a relation between two species, which one individual benefits, while the other individual is neither benefit nor harmed. The individual that benefits from the other typically has a purpose for nutrient, shelter, support, or locomotion. Parasitism is a relationship between two species, which one individual, the parasite, might benefit by harming the other individual, the host.